I saw they've made they've turned the Sentry into a disabled black woman. Yeah.
God, really?
Sentry.
But like, it's so predictable, right? It is so unbelievably predictable. So, listen, I'm quite excited for I say the same thing every time I see you about this. I'm quite excited for the James Gunn DC universe.
I don't understand why anybody wouldn't be excited about this. It all looks fantastic.
It looks like fun. I like that they got Metamorpho or whatever.
The same people who were complaining 5 years ago that Superman needs to be fun again, all these announcements and they're still bitching about it.
Right. And honestly, it's like people are annoyed that Otis, what's the name? The one from
the henchman from Superman the movie.
Superman the movie is black. I mean, really? That's not intrinsically white role, right?
It's like complaining that the third toilet attendant to the left is now being played by a Vietnamese guy or something. It's ridiculous.
It really. And the other thing, people want to be mad that Perry White is also black, but Lawrence Fishburne also played Perry White and did a very good job. Right, I think he'll probably won the best.
Yeah, he was perfectly fine. And this guy that's playing Perry White in Superman, I was under the impression that I hadn't seen him, but it turns out I had. He plays he played the boss of what's his name? The Tom Clancy, the character that Harrison Ford played in Patriot Games. They did that TV show. Jack Ryan.
Jack Ryan.
He plays Jack Ryan's boss in the Amazon show, and he is brilliant. If he's as good in that as he is as Perry White, I think they've cast him perfectly. That kind of role is all about a vibe. It's all about attitude. Exactly. It doesn't matter whether it's a black or white guy. Exactly. No relevance at all.
Yeah, I think Lawrence Fishburne was. I think the casting of the Snyderverse was perfect in general. I think people are just salty because they wanted more Snyderverse because there was a lot of lost potential. We basically lost, I would say, 2 Justice League movies, right? And on the strength of the first one, I thought it was very good. Maybe 1 Justice League movie, but we lost the Batman movie. And
that's the biggest crime that we never got. Ben Affleck's The Batman, which he'd written the script for and he was going to direct. That
right. I think people are just pissed off about that, and everybody like Henry Cavill as Superman. But look, this guy looks fine, for God's sake. Okay, I agree. Yeah.
For some people, he looks too much like Henry Cavill. He's not enough like Henry Cavill. He's not. Yeah, it's what? Seriously.
Right, so let's see what his inspirations are. What was the inspiration of James Gunn's Superman? Golden Age Superman. Well, that's exciting. There's a lot of optimism in Golden Age Superman. Right? And again, I think getting back to the character being a clean-cut character, I love this idea, right? Did he say anything about it?
Back to the very, very basics of the character.
Man, look at this. I tell you, I love Frank Quitely's artwork. Right? For me, Frank Quitely has become like such an iconic Superman artist.
I'm going to say he's better for some characters than others, but he's absolutely bang on for Superman.
Right. I love All-Star Superman, which is all Frank Quitely. Yeah, man, it really is a gorgeous page. Right, absolutely gorgeous page. So All-Star Superman. Okay, good. 2 good inspirations right there, right? All-Star Superman, per Gunn's first official tease, the DC, the big DCEU happening later last year. All-Star Superman was serving an inspiration. The other image from All-Star Superman 10 features Reagan, who is a teenage girl who stopped Superman from attempting to commit suicide. I don't remember that bit. Whatever. The complete 12-issue run of All-Star Superman by Morrison Quitely's collecting single trade. It's a big recommend. It's like what's it? So it's Witness Man of Steel, an exciting adventure with featuring Lex Luthor, Jimmy Olsen, Lois Lane, Bizarro, and more. Yeah, it's all. Have you ever read this?
I have, but not for long. I've got the paperback. I've got the trade paperback of it behind me because I've been meaning to reread it in the run up to the film.
Right.
I haven't read it for a while.
It's because they're okay. Here's why they're good. It's got a lot of classic Superman in that
elements.
Each issue is an individual episode, right? You got that beautiful artwork. Each issue, and it leans into all the classic like Bizarro and all those kind of things, right?
There's always something. I wouldn't call it a subversive run, but it just twists things ever so slightly, doesn't it? It encapsulates a particular Superman kind of either ideal or idea that is central to the longevity of the character, or that we as the readers are sort of take away from it with, like the Last Boy Scout kind of thing.
Right, Last Boy Scout in this kind of skewed Grant Morrison world, right?
Yeah.
That which is like a little bit accentuated and dark, right? But it was really great, right? It was really, really good. Max Flight's a Superman animated series. So did he just get released on Blu-ray?
I think they have.
Yeah, this was right. I really got to check these out. By the way, in terms of comics, sorry, go ahead.
Well, I've got those Max Fleischer. I think they're in their unremastered form. They're in the big box set they put out about 10 years ago with Christopher Reeve Superman.
I got that box set.
I think they're in there.
Yeah, by the way, I'm just started reading this. Here we go. Amazon.com. Where the Body Was. Ed Brubaker and Where the Body Was. There you go. Ed Brubaker and Sean Phillips.
Oh, yeah, I've heard of this.
Okay, they are such a great combo, these two, right? They are absolutely. This is a. I only started reading on Sabbath. I'm about 60 or so pages into it. It's like a couple hundred pages long, and it's set in the 80s. It's such a great blend of narrative and character, right? The character describes the narrative, and the narrative describes the character, right? And it unfolds like a China doll, right? Like a origami piece.
Is this new? Is this new material, or is it something?
Yeah.
Or he worked on Captain America.
Sorry.
Because he obviously Brubaker went to work on Captain America, didn't he?
Right. So this is much. He also did a series called Criminal, right? This is one, which is a great series, and that really reaches pinnacle with what's it called? Criminal Cruel Summer. Hang on, Criminal Cruel Summer. And basically, it's a long. This whole series, it's about, I don't know, ran for about 10, 15 years. It's all about similar. All these people know each other in like these low-level crimes in the early 80s. Right.
Okay.
So you got and it's just excellent storytelling, right? Just fantastic story. And all these are great. So all my heroes were junkies. Bad Weekend. So yeah, that's what I'm reading right now, and I'm really loving it. Man, I got too many good things to read. Anyway, Max Fleischer animated, fine. What else they got? Whatever happened to Man Tomorrow? Oh, yeah, have you ever? This is Alan Moore's.
Yeah, I bought this. I bought this when it was published. It wasn't the very first Superman comic I ever bought, but it was when I was really into it at first, because this was the last issue before John Byrne took over with the Man of Steel, isn't it?
Right, and rebooted it. Yeah.
Yeah, fantastic.
But okay, so this makes me feel they're really leaning into classic 70s Super Friends Superman, right? Which is all of these things so far basically is. Yeah,
there will be like these sort of creatures in the Fortress of Solitude, for example.
Right. Like look at the all his trophies. Like I bet we'll see stuff like that. Right? I think that's a great idea. So yeah, oh man, I love Whatever Happened to Man Tomorrow. Superman for All Seasons. I never read this, but I heard.
Is this one by Tim? Good. Yes, it is by Tim Sale. So this is the guy who went on to Marvel and did like Spider-Man Noir, didn't he?
Right. I remember. Yeah. But again, all this, like it says, a non-angsty Superman.
Yeah.
An optimistic Superman, and then, but then they decide. I guess they want to go for Kingdom Come.
There's a lot of angsty Superman.
So, you know what? I think it feels like they want a super-powered world.
Yeah.
Silver Age Superman. Yeah, if you can take all the Silver Age Superman elements and bring them into the modern day, I love Super. Yeah, got Mr. Maplisnik here.
See, I accept, mate, that different people have different takes on it, and they've wanted different things over the years. But for me, as a boy growing up watching Superman movies, I always wanted Superman to exist in a world where there were other heroes and villains, and that's why in the Batman movie, when he mentions in whichever Batman film it is, when he says, "Oh, you could drive all the way to Metropolis," and you have comments like that, or they mention Gotham City, you think, it's all in the same world. And so the idea that there are going to be other superheroes in James Gunn's Superman movie, yes, that's exactly what I want. We've had film after film after film after film of both Superman and Batman essentially being in their own universes, not interacting with anybody else. Doesn't mean it has to be some sort of two-hander where you've got to pit one against the other like BVS. But just to exist in the same world as other meta-humans, I think is absolutely the way to go now.
Yeah, I mean, because there's technology basically you can do it. But like having a Silver Age world, again, that's what Frank Quietly really does. And what's this? Action Comics 52. Yeah,
Morrison stuff. You see, although I couldn't take to that. I at least understood why Grant Morrison was coming at it the way that he was. It did kind of make a sort of sense. When you consider that he'd done All-Star Superman.
Yeah, I mean, no, I think it did. Look, casting's very good. You got Rachel Brosnahan as Lois Lane, which is perfect.
Oh, yes.
I love it. Nathan Fillion as Green Lantern, Guy Gardner. Perfect casting, right? Mr. Terrific. Yeah. Here you got. That's from The Authority, the engineer. That's a cool character. Metamorpho. Jimmy Olsen. Miss Teschmacher, Eve Teschmacher, Perry White, Lex Luthor. Yeah, look, it sounds like it's going to be fun, right? It does sound like it's going to be fun. So
I'm going to say I don't see any downsides to any of that casting at all. I'm even very excited about Millie Alcock playing Supergirl. I think that could work out very well. It's a little more of a gamble because she's an unknown quantity to a great many people. And she's such an interesting actress to what you cannot. You remember House of the Dragon? Everything that she was doing, she was captivating.
Yeah, I agree with you. Right, I do agree with you. I don't like they take the script from what's it called again?
The Tom King book from a couple of years ago.
But I'll go into it with open mind. I'll see what the first thing is. I'll go into it with open mind. My name's Tzvi Lebetkin, the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring that little bell. Ring the little bell so you're notified when new videos drop.